You've wasted your 20s, haven't you? Be honest with yourself. The so-called best years of your life were spent chasing illusions, scrolling through meaningless feeds, and playing it safe. Now you're in your 30s, or maybe even your 40s, and it's time to wake up. Because if you don't, life will pass you by while you're still clinging to those past mistakes. Let's dive into the brutal truths you need to confront, the changes you must make if you want to turn your life around. And let me warn you, this won't be easy. You need to start by cutting off toxic relationships, yes, even if it's family. Society tells you to cherish your family, but what if that family is the very reason you're stuck? What if they're the ones who suffocate your dreams, belittle your ambitions, and drain your energy? Are you really going to let them dictate your future? How long will you let their toxicity poison your life? Cut them off, even if it hurts, because your life is worth more than their opinion of you. Can you live with the guilt of choosing yourself, or will you die with the regret of not doing it? Now let's get real about your work. If you're still working just for a paycheck, you've lost the plot. Money is a tool, not a purpose. In your 30s and 40s, you should be focusing on creating something that outlasts you, a legacy, a business, an impact. What will people remember you for when you're gone? Will they remember the paycheck you earned or the change you made? Is your work fulfilling, or is it just filling your bank account? What are you really working for? When was the last time you asked yourself, what do I truly want to leave behind? Are you a slave to your salary, or are you building something that will matter long after you're gone? And here's something you probably haven't been told. Get comfortable with being alone. You've been taught to fear loneliness, but that's a lie. The truth is, if you can't stand your own company, you've got bigger problems than you think. In your 30s and 40s, you need to master solitude. This is where you find out who you really are without the noise of the world. Do you even know who you are when you're not defined by others? When was the last time you spent time alone without distractions? What did you learn about yourself? Or are you too scared to face the truth of your own thoughts? Speaking of lies, here's another one you've been sold. Live for today because tomorrow isn't promised. You've been living for today for too long, and look where it's gotten you. It's time to plan for the future, because if you don't, you'll find yourself in your 50s with nothing but regrets. What happens when today's pleasure becomes tomorrow's pain? Are you willing to gamble your future for short-term satisfaction? Invest in yourself, your health, and your future. Your 30s and 40s are the decades to build something meaningful that will carry you through the rest of your life. Are you living just for today, or are you building a foundation for tomorrow? What will you have to show for this decade when it's over? Finally, you need to accept that you're running out of time. This is the hardest pill to swallow. You're not getting any younger. Your 30s and 40s are the years where you either make it or break it. Stop fooling yourself with the idea that you have endless time. You don't. If you don't act now, you'll look back in another decade and wonder where it all went. Are you okay with living a life of mediocrity, watching the clock tick down without making a move? You don't have time to waste on things that don't matter. Focus on what does. What are you doing today that you will look back on and thank yourself for in 10 years? Or are you setting yourself up for a life of regret? What will you say when it's too late and you realize you've let time slip through your fingers? So are you ready to change your life? Or are you just going to keep drifting, hoping that something magically falls into place? The choice is yours, but time isn't on your side. Take control now. Cut the toxicity. Find your purpose. Embrace solitude. Plan for the future, and accept that your clock is ticking. Because the truth is, if you don't do these things, no one else will do them for you. Will you keep waiting for a miracle, or will you be your own savior? What are you going to do today to change your life for the better? The clock is ticking. Don't let time run out before you take action. And for more untold truths and life lessons that are blunt, real, and never talked about, subscribe to support and know more.